I don't know what tomorrow holds. Not one of us do. I have my good days, I have my bad. And here is my story that I want to share with you. Hi, my name is Judy. I was born and raised in LA on December 1st, 1979. I'm the youngest of what would have been 3 siblings. I have an older brother and a sister whom I never met because she passed away a little over a month old. My mom got pregnant with me after losing my sister, and my family moved to California from Philippines. Our childhood didn't come without struggles, but my parents always did what they had to do to provide. And they made it fun for us. Because my parents always took us out to enjoy nature, I've loved it ever since. My teenage years weren't easy. I ended up getting pregnant and gave birth to a healthy boy named Chris on September 18th, 1995. We both lived with my parents and my older brother. My family helped me out so much. I met Brandon at a party before my son was 2 years old. He was this energetic, fun, and charming guy, and I remember being drawn into his energy. I wanted to have whatever he was having. We developed a friendship and would have the best times hanging out together. Sometimes we would talk on the phone for hours, and our conversations would continue well into the early morning of the next day. I'd look forward to those calls. We spent more and more time together. At that time, we both still lived with our parents. Eventually, Brandon graduated college and started working toward his career. I was working full-time, and by the time my son was in school, Brandon convinced me to go to college also. I remember working while my son would go to school, and I would help him with homework. And then after dinner, I'd go to my own college classes at night and study well into midnight. That was pretty much my schedule for the next few years. Of course, Brandon wanted to do more for us. He wanted to make it easier on us, and that's what he's done ever since. He started working on this plan for us to move out together as a family and be a full-time parent with me.
By 2004, we bought our first home and experienced home ownership for the first time. Judy graduated shortly after, and that was an awesome day.
It was.
We then took our first family vacation to our favorite spot, Oahu. Woohoo!
I actually can't remember having experienced anything fun or exciting for the first time without Brandon being there. And Brandon has always been as good to Chris as he has to me. He took on the role of being a dad without hesitation. Being a good father and partner are second nature to him. He even proposed to me in our first home.
Now, that engagement lasted a little bit longer than most marriages.
It sure did.
But it did finally happen.
2 years later, we discovered that I had breast cancer. We really didn't know what to expect at that time. Chris was a junior transitioning into senior, and he stayed with my parents most of the time because we wanted to save him from seeing us suffer through the chemotherapy. But we maintained a positive outlook. We just knew that I had to get treatment, undergo surgery, and everything would be okay, hopefully. And I'd always dreamt of Europe. And so the minute my doctor cleared me and said everything was okay, we proudly attended Chris's high school graduation.
Yes.
And by 2015, Brandon stuck true to his promise and whisked me away to Europe. And it was the most carefree, like this dog, carefree trip we'd ever had. You need to stop with this, little boy. Okay, stay. Then when we came back from Europe, I started having pains, and they weren't constant, but I still went to the oncologist to check on that. We had routine labs, and I had a small procedure, and everything was done. We were fine, or so we thought. And then February of this year, we lost our precious deaf Maltese, Princeton, tragically. And I'm still grieving over him.
Princeton was our little rescue Maltese that Judy brought home without asking me. Surprised me one day when I walked through the door and I saw a little white Maltese. I was like, that's not Penny.
I couldn't leave a dying puppy.
But I knew it wasn't Penny when he first bit me on my ankle when I walked into my own house. And then Judy told me that we were adopting him. To my dismay, it was the best thing that ever happened.
We had him over 10 years, and
he brought so much joy to Judy, especially when I was away on work trips overseas. He kept her company. I could see the love that they had for each other. Not only did she save him, but I believe he saved her from being alone. And
I remember when I found him as a dying puppy, I just I prayed to God back then if he could just save him and give him the strength to live so that I could show this guy a life of love. Just please, God, let him live so that he can know how it is to be loved. What I didn't expect was for him to show me a life full of love, unconditional in every way. By April of this year, I insisted on getting a CT scan. My routine labs were off. My doctor said it could be from the grieving and the stress, but this time I insisted on having a scan. We'd been asking him to have a scan the last 6 years, but it was, he advised unnecessary exposure to radiation. However, this time around, I insisted on it. So the doctor went ahead and ordered the scan. And next thing you know, I'm having a PET CT and an MRI. And those images aren't good. A biopsy in June confirmed that the same cancer I had from 2012 has now returned. And has spread to several organs. And I now have stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. So I went from grieving Princeton to getting baptized to having my oncologist tell me that I only have a few years left. In the last few months, I've had another major surgery, a difficult time healing this time around, and a long recovery from pneumonia. I've been getting treatments and I've still managed to keep on smiling. Having my husband by my side has made all the difference. For us to be able to still laugh in between our tears and moments of sadness has been such a blessing. It's a harsh reality, but our faith stands firm in love and God.
We've gone through all our options. We explored treatments in other countries. We spoke to several doctors. We really stressed ourselves out when we found out about this.
It's all too overwhelming. And I just prayed. I just prayed for guidance so that I'll know what treatment we need to do. And fortunately, we've been able to seek treatment here in LA, close to home. Because when the best thing you can do each day is just get up and breathe, there's no place you'd rather be than at home. I'd rather be close to my church, family, and friends than plugged into some machines in an unfamiliar country trying to cure myself. Because at the end of the day, I know who the ultimate healer is. And as of right now, my treatments are here at home. This time around, Brandon has been by my side through every single appointment, wiped every tear, and helped me get through each day. I don't know how I'd be able to do this without him. And just like him, he always finds a way to make something special out of it, and has been whisking me away on little trips when I'm feeling well enough to go. He helps me feel normal even with cancer. Although it's always there, we've been able to smile and enjoy life in spite of it all. My family has also been really supportive and caring through this. I can't thank them enough for all they've done, even though we're all hurting. And this is life with cancer. Fortunately, I can still smile through this and have good times from it because I'm choosing to grasp every moment and be in the moment. My dad had a stroke. I prayed the entire drive to his house, and as scared as I was, I knew that God would be there for him as he has been for me. I got there at the same time first responders did. My heart stopped, and I ran inside to see my mom beside my dad and brother. And when my dad was able to recognize me, I felt my heart beat again. He was in ICU for 2 days and remains at the hospital in rehab. He's shown some improvement each day, and I'm so very grateful for that. It's been quite a devastating year for us. Most people would be understandably devastated with the news that we've gotten this year. And in spite of all these tragedies, it hasn't ruined us. Of course, I wish Brandon and I had another 21 years together, or 40 more years. But we aren't in control of how much time we have on Earth. And I am so blessed to be the mom of a young, smart, passionate son, young man. We've raised a good kid.
We did.
And we're so very proud of you. I just want you to know that. I love you so much. Give me a kiss. My baby. I'm the younger sister of a brother whose generosity and kindness and love he's always worn on his sleeves. And I've always known that I can turn to him for anything, no matter what. And my mom, she's the one who taught me forgiveness and unconditional love. And I'm a lot like my dad, who's always positive, and he's so strong that even as he lie in ICU, bleeding in his brain, he turned to me and asked me how I was, because he said he's more worried about me than himself. And that's my dad. And this is my family. I come from a small family, but a family that's more than enough. And I thank God for them every single day.
I don't know what tomorrow holds. Not one of us do. I have my good days. I have my bad. I have sad moments, but for the most part, I'm too busy being happy. I don't know how fast this cancer will spread or how I'll feel tomorrow, but I do know that how much time we have isn't determined by man. I know that my family is a blessing and that I have and will always have a unique relationship, love, and bond with my son. I know that I've been in deep, extraordinary love with my best friend and soulmate for over 21 years, and that this love is forever. I have cancer. Cancer doesn't have me. I still have a lot to smile about, and the God-given will to live. My body can be hurting, but my heart is overflowing in love. I don't have any more dreams in life because I'm too busy living in them. My faith is strong, and my spirit will not be broken because I know and have seen that God is good all the time. So is this life, no matter what it brings.